Hi guys and welcome back to my channel. Today we're gonna sew a really exciting project. We're gonna make a top made out of pearls. For the pearl top you are gonna need some pearls. I ordered this pearl border which is really nice. It has bigger and smaller pearls on it, on like a kind of see-through thread, which I really like. I'm going to use that. I ordered the 60-meter one, but you can also use like a less one. You don't have to order exactly this one, but I'm going to put the link down below, so if you like to order it you can just go ahead. The sewing pattern you find like always down below in the description box in my shop, and there is a guide sheet as well. I'm going to sew size small like always. And as well there's a sheet with all the materials I'm using and how much I'm using. As well for the project you need some fleece lining. I have this here in white because I'm going to use a white top. I'm using Jersay Fabric. It's just out of an old shirt I made once but I never wore, so I'm just going to reuse this Jersey fabric. It's not a much that you need, maybe just get a meter or so, that's probably really fine. And then I have this white fleece lining, just so that the shoulders are a little bit more stiffer and also the waistband is a little bit more stiffer. With all the pearls it's going to be heavy a little bit, so the fabric is not going to shrink or like curl or do weird stuff, so we don't want that. Also you're going to need a border of elastic eyelets for the back so you can go in and out really easily. So I would say let's get started. That's everything we're going to need. I have here the pearls, which you can just see, it's just the white pearls with like a thread, so we can really nicely work with that. I have two back pieces which I have not put into the folding line, and then I have one front piece as well. I have the bordered of elastic eyelets right here, which you can see I made them myself, so you can just go ahead and check out the short for that. And then we have the waistband twice, which I put already some fleece lining in, so it's a little bit more stiffer and stronger. You need some fleece lining basically. And then also you're going to need, for the last thing, you need your collar. So just go ahead and cut them out and you're good to go for this project. And some buttons for the bordered eyelets. For the back piece and also for the front piece we have to put the pearls on, and we have to put the pearls on wherever you have the marks, so that's the shoulder and also the neck part, the same with the front. What I did, basically I did measures from the top to the bottom just like that, and then I folded in half, so I have basically twice just like that, and then I just did like a little extra just like that. I can always cut stuff off, so that's basically the length from the shirt. You can also make the shirt shorter or longer, that's just up to you, just like that. Because now I have it in half, I just have to pull the pearls apart just like that, so I can have a loop and have the loop just up like that. Then you're going to use a pin, and you take a pin and just pin it right where you want it to be. Leave a little bit open for the seam alone, just take that in mind, and then you're good to go. And I just do it how I feel I should do it. And I want on the shoulders, I have about 4 folded pieces which are a little bit longer, and here I'm probably gonna do like 3, I guess, because that's a smaller way. On the front I did really more, and with the loop technique it won't come up, so whenever we sew on top of that, like just like that, whenever we sew on top of that, and we are gonna wash it or whatever, it's just gonna go right where the needle are like that, so just a little bit downwards, but not as much, and we have now a little bit more space for putting everything on, like the seam alone included and all of that. I have about 16 just on this road, and I have 3 on the side. Maybe I'm gonna add just 2 more like on each side, so I have 4 on the front for the shoulder seam and just 3 on the back. I have to check how much I'm using from the pearls. So I'm just gonna go ahead and prepare all of this. So the front is for me done. The back is pinned just like that. So I just have to do the other side of the pin, and then we can attach the pieces to each other. And whenever you finished pinning all the pieces together, you can just go ahead and sew just on top of that. I'm just using a normal stitch. Make sure you do not pull the pearl just by now, because first of all we have to attach them to each other before we are going to pull on anything like that, and also the collar. So just make sure to sew along just normally and try to make them a little bit even later. So just place them right sides together, the 2 back parts. You can also move the pearls to the other side, and then you're gonna attach them, and we're just gonna sew normally from the knot. You can also sew without the knot, but then I don't know if you're gonna fit into that or not anymore. So from here I'm just gonna start all the way down, and from here I am gonna sew out. So I have a little corner right there, and that's what I'm sewing. This part I'm gonna leave open. I'm gonna show you just in a little bit what I'm gonna do with that. But first of all, we're gonna sew this little corner right there. So after I sewed into right here, you see that I have this little corner which I'm gonna cut right here, just to the notch, and then I can open this. So I'm just gonna fold that 1 centimeter open and put a pin in, and all the way down here. You can also iron it if you like. Then you can open it, and to the other side you do exactly the same. Also, maybe you're going to give this video a big thumbs up and also subscribe so you don't miss any other video. I am just going to sew right here, and then as well to the other side, just like that. So now they're finished. So what you can see, I just cut it. I sewed it, I cut into that, and then I'm folding these upwards. When you fold it over like that, I did sew right here and then over all the seams and then down here as well. So I have an opening right here, but also it looks closed and it's not like spread it open or whatever. For now, I would say we're just gonna attach the back with the front. So I'm gonna put the pearls all inside, and then I'm just pulling the thread up. So we still sew not on the pearls, because when you sew on the pearls, your sewing machine is probably gonna break. You don't want that. And it's gonna be a little bit tricky, I know, but I'm trying my best, and I know you guys trying your best. So I'm going to put them right sides together, just like that. And then I'm using some pins. Just going to use some pins so I'm not pulling onto the thread anymore. So I'm going to sew the shoulder seam, and I'm also can, because they are on top of each other, sew the side seams. So they're right sides together, and then I'm just going to sew them right here as well. So both are attached, and I did pull on them so they're not bothering or anything like that, which is really nice. And before we're going to do the hem, I would start with putting up the collar. For that, you make sure, again, like the same thing, that everything is pushed upwards a little bit. So we're going to attach it a second time around. And then you need your collar, which is just this one right here. I did fold it in once already. So that's how it's going to be open. And you always, if you change something up onto the neck part, you have to measure it around and then time is by 0.8. So you get then the amount, like the length of your collar, which you're going to attach. If you don't do this, then the collar will stand upwards and not lay onto your body. Here's some cuff fabric, which is a little bit more elastic than the fabric. and something you have to do is just fold it right sides together like in an open way, and then you have to sew it right here. Afterwards you can spread the seam right here, and then folding it left sides together so you have the pretty side outside. You can also just iron on top of it and then it's more flat. You have to put it in 4 equal compartments, I would say. So you have 4 right here, and then you need exactly the same up to here. So in the front, in the back, and then the side seams, it's marked already. I would put the seam from the collar right sides together onto the seam, onto the back seam. And then you're just removing and replacing the pins right here. And you see it's smaller, so we obviously have to spread it like that. And then we sew on top of it, and then afterwards we can push the thread from the pearls downwards. That's the top right here. I did check that everything looks on the right side, so how you can see, that's just how it looks. And I already started the process with the pearls because I had to try it out, obviously. So we have it downwards here, and I did try to make a knot right into this, but when you pull it, it will come off like on the top as well. So I do have, first of all, you take 2 pearls just like that, and you do eye measure them, so that's about the length of the shirt. So you push, like we did onto the top, you push them apart, and then you push the other pearls down. What I do, I just cut them off really closely, and then you take your special pearl and you just pull them 2 threads between them, and then you just push it as well. They're stuck, and I'm using a pin to secure that all to the shirt and have it even as well, so that wriggling around or going off. And I did make that right here, which you can see. So I have a pearl with every 2 strings, and then I did made it onto the shirt, how you can see right here, and then onto the shoulder. I wanted them longer, so I just took them longer and pinned them on as well. So that's the shirt, the top right now, and how you see I did laid it up like that. I have a little pin right here because I want it shorter. I did make the sewing pattern just a little bit shorter. If you want to have it longer or shorter, that's fine. You can just go ahead and check out my other video. I'm going to link it down below, where you can find how to make stuff longer or shorter. That's really easy to do so. So something I'm going to do, because I have it pinned, which is really nice, and I have it a mark, is that I'm just gonna sew right between the pearl right here and the push pearl right here. So I'm basically just gonna lay it like that, and then I'm sewing all the way. So you have the waistband with the strong doubled way. So something I'm going to do is I have this line right here which I sewed on top of it. So I'm going to put them right sides together just like that. I'm going to leave out a little corner, and then I'm just going to go all the way over it. I'm trying not to pull anything. You can also save it and secure it with some pins so you're good and you don't mess up. They have all the raw edges, so I'm just gonna pull every little knot just until the push pearl, and then I can cut them off. But I'm not gonna cut them off basically between it. I'm just cutting off the little edges right here, so not the push pearl, obviously. I'm just gonna cut them so I have equals 1. I have them separated because I do want to work with them separated. I made them quite much together, so I want to change that. Eyelets I'm gonna do onto the waistband downwards, and then I'm gonna secure them really quick, and after I can just move on with the other waistband. I'm gonna put the other waistband right sides on top of the other waistband. Seeing the other waistband on, they're gonna flip over just like that. So I'm gonna take the second waistband, putting them right sides together just like that. Just gonna sew. You see that's the opening. I'm just gonna sew right down here and then all the way down. I'm gonna push that over so I have the nice edges right here, and I'm just gonna iron right on top of it so it's not gonna roll up or anything, so it's secure. Push everything downwards because I don't want these raw edges to itch me or to bother me. And then I'm just gonna go 1 centimeter inwards or half, how many seam alone you have, and then I'm gonna go right on top, putting a pin in, and I go all the way around. And then right here, one little thing I have to do, I have to just, you can also search around it. I'm gonna leave it how it is and just folding it 1 centimeter over, and I'm gonna go all the way around for 1 centimeter because we do have to sew that as well. So I'm just gonna go all the way around. You can also use a hand measurement, that's fine. And just take your time, don't stretch the fabric like I always say, and then it's gonna be nice and equal. Okay guys, that's it for today. I really hope you liked today's video. Maybe you're gonna give this video a big thumbs up and also subscribe, so you can comment down below if you have any question. I'm really looking up for to help you out. The sewing pattern you're also gonna get down below in the description box. There are also many more sewing patterns, so you can just go ahead and check them out. I would say the top you can wear really well doing the whole year, like for birthdays, for the summer, with a skirt, or like with the pants on winter vacation or whatever. So I would say that's a really nice round top to do. So that's it. I'm gonna see you in the next video. Bye!